going to go to Kamala Harris. She's commenting on what the president had to say last night. We'll listen to it.
100,000 people to talk about what's at stake in this election and to point out that the American people have a real choice and a very important decision to make in 6 days. And it is about who will not only lead the country but occupy the White House, where critical decisions are made that include how we think about who we are as a nation and whether we are going to be a nation of people who attempt to unify and break through this era of divisiveness, or are we going to be a nation of people who has a president stewing in the Oval Office over his enemies list? And I think that the turnout last night and the kind of feedback that we are receiving is a strong indication that the American people actually want a leader who is going to bring us together. And that's the type of leader I intend to be.
Have you spoken to President Biden since his comment last night about garbage?
Listen, I think that, first of all, he clarified his comments. But let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. You heard my speech last night and continuously throughout my career. I believe that the work that I do is about representing all the people, whether they support me or not. And as President of the United States, I will be a president for all Americans, whether you vote for me or not. That is my responsibility, and that's the kind of work that I've done my entire career, and I take it very seriously.
Have you spoken to him about his comments and his intentions?
He did call me last night, but this didn't come up.
Tom, are you concerned about what impact this may have on voters, on the divisiveness of the election, and whether or not it's going to dissuade some people from supporting you because of your affiliation with the president and this administration?
I've been very clear with the American public. I respect the challenges that people face. I respect the fact that we all have so much more in common than what separates us, and that most people want a president that understands that gets that, and approaches their role of leadership that way. I've been very clear from my earliest years as a prosecutor. I never asked anyone, are they a Democrat or Republican? The only thing I ask folks is, are you okay? And that's the kind of president I will be.
And what did you talk about with the president?
Madam Vice President, on a separate subject, last night you mentioned removing people in the country who are here illegally. What do you mean? That's an immigration statement, obviously. Were you referring to people who have come here before illegally, or can you expand on what you meant by that comment?
What I intend to do on the issue of immigration, as I said last night and have said continuously, is we need to fix our broken immigration system in a number of ways. We need to strengthen the border and put more resources at the border, which is why I support the bipartisan bill that Donald Trump killed that would have otherwise put 1,500 more border agents at the border, put more resources into prosecuting transnational crime, and would very importantly put more resources into stemming the flow of fentanyl, which is killing people around the country. And when I am elected president, I will bring that bill back and I will sign it into law. I also have done the work and in my policy going forward will strengthen what we need to do to deal with, for example, illegal entries between ports of entry. That is something that we need to tighten up. I will do the work also about ensuring that we pass comprehensive immigration reform in a way that we allow hardworking people who have earned citizenship a path to actually be able to gain citizenship because they have earned it. And that includes everyone from our farm workers to dreamers.
And just to follow up on the
do you sympathise if any voters do feel
Once again?
Do you sympathise with any voters who do feel offended by or insulted by the garbage comments?
I am running for president of the United States. I will be traveling to 3 states today to do what I have been doing throughout, which is talking with the American people about the fact that, first of all, I get it in terms of the concerns they have about challenges like the price of groceries. Second, my highest priority is to address that and to lift them up around their ambitions, their aspirations, and their dreams, which is why I have a very specific and detailed plan about strengthening our economy. Leading economists have reviewed my plan and indicated it will strengthen the economy and that Donald Trump's plan will weaken the economy. So I'm going to be spending full time, as I've been, talking with the American people, whoever they voted for last time, And as I have said and will repeat over and over again, I am sincere in what I mean. When elected President of the United States, I will represent all Americans, including those who don't vote for me, and address their needs and their desires.
Vice President Kamala Harris just a few moments ago distancing herself from President Biden, who had a gaffe last night when he talked about Trump supporters as being garbage. The White House and the president then later clarified to say that he meant to address the comedian at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden on Sunday night. She said just a few moments ago, "I strongly disagree with any criticism of anybody based on who they vote for." For more on all of this, I want to bring in Mark Lotter. He was just there a few moments ago. He worked on the 2020 campaign, still a Trump surrogate. Mark, your response to what the vice president just had to say there a few moments ago. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier, but she was about to start talking. But your response to that.
Yeah, no, totally understand breaking news, Jim. Look, I mean, she basically said that Joe Biden clarified himself, but I'm just not sure that that goes far enough. I mean, we've now had 3 days of breathless coverage based on a vile joke made by an insult comic on Sunday, and yet now we're immediately walking back and clarifying and kind of giving a free pass to the actual words of the President of the United States of America. And so, you know, I think there's a lot of people out there, especially in conservative circles, who remember being called a basket of deplorables, called fascists, called Nazis, now we're garbage, and it all adds up over time. I'm not sure putting an apostrophe in there is going to change much.
And I do want to point out, Mark, it wasn't just one comic at that rally on Sunday night. You had Tucker Carlson mocking Kamala Harris's ethnicity. You had another speaker describing Hillary Clinton as a son of a bee, and so on. So I don't want to say that it was just that. But Donald Trump yesterday, when he was addressing all of this, described the rally on Sunday night as a love fest. Was it a love fest?
Well, I was there for nearly 8 hours, getting in there very early and staying through the speech. And there was, 20,000 people in the arena, thousands outside the arena. They were chanting, they were cheering, they were chanting USA. It was a very happy place for those of us, and many of us who've been doing this for a long time. It was like a giant family reunion. So
calling Puerto Rico garbage, I mean,
that was a comment of one insult. That was one insult comedian who spoke hours before the president took the stage. The campaign quickly clarified it and said it did not represent the views of the president or the campaign.
But why didn't he
say?
I guess. But why didn't he say? Why didn't he say they don't reflect his views? Why didn't he condemn it?
The campaign put out that statement that night. They actually had people out the next morning as well saying the exact same thing. It was a joke made by a comedian that was not approved by the campaign, and that they didn't support it, and it doesn't reflect the views of the president. And so, they put that statement out. I know President Trump said something yesterday. I think it was to ABC's Rachel Scott. He doesn't know this comedian. He's not familiar with that comedian's jokes. And but again, we are putting so much more emphasis on these comments from 3 days ago than we actually are the sitting president of the United States in what he said last night.
Well, Mark, I do get that you take exception to calling people garbage. I mean, you shouldn't call people garbage, but let's listen to what Donald Trump has had to say in recent days about the United States of America. Let's play that.
We're like a garbage can for the world, the United States of America, and dumped like we're a garbage can, for their people. I said, we're the garbage can for the world. We're a garbage can. We're like a garbage can, and they dump. The press gave me a hard time on this one. They said it was very I don't think it's disrespectful. It's like we're a giant garbage can.
So, Mark, I mean, I get it. You shouldn't call Trump supporters garbage, but you also should not call America a garbage can, right?
Well, in context, the president's talking about the illegal immigration problem and what we're seeing in the millions upon millions of illegal immigrants that are coming across our border, including hundreds of thousands of people with convictions for felonies, is that they are treating our country as a place to send the people they do not want in their own country. And so I think that's what he's referring to.
But America's not a garbage can. We talked about this the other day. It's not a garbage can. And the president, I mean, he puts out a statement clarifying what he said. Donald Trump does not put out a statement clarifying what he has to say about the United States being a garbage can.
Well, the president is referring to how other countries are treating us as their garbage can. And I think that's very clear when you look at the context of these remarks and not just those two specific words. He's talking about illegal immigration and how many of these other countries are treating us as a garbage can for the people they do not want in their country.
All right, Mark Lauder, thanks very much.
Good to see you,
I think
Jim.
either way, we shouldn't call America garbage, but all right, thanks very much.